Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks has filed to run for Katie Hill's House seat. What? Does this mean he would have to leave the Young Turks? I have a lot of questions about how this would work, but there's older news from a couple weeks ago. George Papadopoulos also filed to run. Here's how NPR put it. George Papadopoulos, former Trump aide and felon, runs for Rep. Katie Hill's seat. Welcome to WWE America, where your president is a reality TV real estate mogul. I know that's diminishing a bit of what he actually is. He's a real estate mogul from around the world. But come on, Trump's in the WWE Hall of Fame. He's an entertainer. He is a celebrity. That is your president. And now we are going to have progressive pundit Cenk Uygur up against George Papadopoulos in a California election because apparently at some point in 2016, our universe collided with a parallel reality and a bunch of us got thrown from Earth Prime to whatever this is. Okay, I'm kidding a bit. But come on, think about how absurd this is going to be. Cenk Uygur versus George Papadopoulos? What? Assuming either of them actually win a primary, I don't even know what's going to happen. But I do have a lot of questions about Cenk Uygur doing this because the Young Turks receives fan funding. And one of the biggest problems with any personality running we've seen so far is in today's digital economy, there's a lot of donations that come from foreign sources. So Cenk probably doesn't directly receive them, but his company does. He's probably going to have to leave the Young Turks if he's going to run. So he said no comment. Let's read the story and see what's going on. And then we can take a look at this new... This is going to be the craziest race in the country. Outside of the presidency, this is going to be nuts. The Hill reports the Young Turks founder, Cenk Uygur, hope I'm pronouncing your name right, filed Wednesday to run for the House seat vacated by former Rep. Katie Hill, who resigned following a House Ethics Committee investigation into allegations of inappropriate relationships with staffers. An FEC filing, do we have the filing? Let's pull that up. Dated Wednesday, announces the formation of the Cenk for Congress Committee. Oh man, there's so much wrong here. With Uygur listed as the group's treasurer, Uygur addressed the filing on Twitter saying to all reporters, no comment. Cenk is one of the founders of the Justice Democrats, who got AOC and a bunch of other, far left progressive types elected. He was removed from Justice Democrats, my understanding, because a bunch of blogs surfaced where it turns out Cenk said a bunch of really offensive things in the past. Essentially, Cenk Uygur was canceled from the progressive Justice Democrats over past wrongdoing. Well, now he's forming his own group and he's going to run. The left-leaning broadcaster aligns himself with the progressive wing of the Democratic Party and in 2016 endorsed Senator Bernie Sanders in the Democratic presidential primary. He recently endorsed Sanders in the 2020 primary as well. Hill's district will be the site of a special election following her resignation last month due to the publication of nude pictures of her, as well as an investigation by House Ethics Committee into allegations of an improper relationship with a House staffer. Hill had also admitted to an affair with a campaign staffer, though that relationship did not break House rules. She resigned while blaming the photo's publication on her estranged husband, Kenny Heslett, and has vowed to fight revenge adult photos, after leaving office. But let's be real. There's two big reasons Katie Hill resigned. The first was the House ethics investigation. Stands to reason she got a lot more dirt coming. And she bowed out because she knew that could be bad, potentially legally bad, because one of her lovers received a bunch of money from her, even up until last month. The accusation, I suppose, then, is if your campaign is over, you have your lover collecting paychecks from your campaign. Maybe not illegal, but people are going to find out, and that's going to be really bad. The other big issue is, she said, and I believe this is fair, more embarrassing information was to come. That, assuming this was her husband or somebody who had access to her private information, they weren't going to stop. And she probably has she's probably done a bunch of naughty. I mean, look, one of the photos, she was doing something overtly illegal. Although I think, I don't want to get into it because YouTube's going to ban me if I do, but let's just say, no, she was partaking in a substance that is now legal in many places, okay? And I think, you shouldn't hold it against her, except for the fact that at the time of the photo, what she was doing was illegal. I have to wonder then, are there other more embarrassing photos or illegal activity? And lastly, before we move on and talk about the bigger campaign stuff, I gotta stress the point. Katie Hill according to some text messages, may have been emotionally abusive to these relationships. And one person, I believe it was the campaign staffer, even said that if she says anything against her, she could be removed from her life. And that means more than what you think it means. It means you could lose your job. So having your boss and a subordinate relationship, there's a lot of problems. There's reasons why you do not do this, okay? Because that person might feel, like she did, that if she says anything like, hey, I don't like this, you'll just be fired, gone, no money, you're out. So there's risks there, but that's an ethical issue. I don't think that's a legal issue. Now, as for Cenk Uygur running for office, I happen to know that they receive a substantial amount of monthly contributions, like an absurd sum. And you'd have to assume a lot of them are coming from foreign sources. Cenk probably pays himself a salary as you know, the founder of the Young Turks, but there's a lot of questions here. So what is the Young Turks? What kind of company is it? It's not a nonprofit. I'd assume it's like a C Corp. If that's the case, perhaps he just leaves the company and forgoes a salary, and then, you know, he can carry on running for Congress. But if he's announcing now that he's running for Congress, then I have to wonder, is anyone going to go after him over campaign finance laws? Because already, and I'm sure he knows this, so he's probably in the good. He's probably clear. But you never know. There's going to be a ton of laws going into effect. There are some individuals who announced they were going to run for office and their online personalities and immediately said, nope, I'm wrong, I'm stopping, because fan funding. So I'd have to look into it, but does the Young Turks have a PayPal? Does Cenk have any personal contribution systems, whether on purpose or not? Is someone sending him money? There's a lot of things he's going to have to go through. Not only that, access to that platform might actually be an issue. The fact that he has a big channel at a company. Now, I'd imagine if Cenk was the Young Turks, right? If his channel was just him, then he might be able to say whatever he wants, not have to give the channel, not have to walk away, but may have to cut off donations. So I guess the issue is, if a company employs him, even if he's the founder, what are the campaign laws around having access to that massive platform? Is what I'm wondering. But here's what I want to do. Let's actually take a peek over at this. This is just what. Oh, check it out. Cenk for Congress, 11/13/2019. Got the FEC identification number. You got his website is cenk2020.com. Wow. And is the special election going to be next year? I guess it is. It's rather simple. I guess this is public. It's from the FEC, so we know that he's running. He's running. He's got his bank info. But here's who he is potentially going to be running against. George Papadopoulos, former Trump aide and felon, runs for Rep. Katie Hill's seat. You know what, man? We get the politicians we deserve. And you are going to have, in today's day and age, with this fierce extremism, this divide, this cultural split, with Donald Trump winning, we got rumors of like The Rock, Oprah, Kanye West announcing he's running for president. I kid you not. Now we have former Trump aide Papadopoulos stepping up into the fray. You know what, man? This is a good thing. It's a good thing. I mean, it's going to be weird, and I think Cenk is a bit off his rocker. My next video, I'm going to show you Cenk saying oh man, I wouldn't vote for either of these people. But hey, I'll tell you what. The fact that politics has become so serious that you're getting people active and passionate actually wanting to run, I think is actually kind of a good thing. It's bad that everyone's divided to an extreme degree, that's for sure. Because we've seen violence, we've got breakdown of constitutional government, things are getting worrisome. So maybe this is a bad thing, I don't know. We've been through rough patches in the past. But here's a dude who feels like he was steamrolled. You know, his story essentially is that he was tricked, they were spying on him, they set him up, things like that. Actually, let's read a little bit of this NPR story to get some context. They say Papadopoulos was a minor figure in Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. He later became a major player in the FBI's investigation into Trump campaign ties to Russia and pleaded guilty to lying to federal investigators. He served time in federal prison and wrote a book. I think it was like a really short amount of time. So what could Papadopoulos possibly do next? Of course, he'll run for a U.S. congressional seat. He filed the paperwork Tuesday, this story is from October 30th, to run as a Republican for the soon-to-be vacant seat currently held by Rep. Katie Hill, who announced her resignation over the weekend. Hill, a freshman lawmaker, stepping down. Yeah, we know all this. Okay, I guess that's it. What is this? I'm smelling blood in the water now that Katie Hill has resigned. California's 25th congressional district is wide open for the taking. Someone has to step up. I love my state too much to see it run down by candidates like Hill. All talk, no action, and a bunch of sellouts. Boy, oh boy. This district is traditionally Republican, it's my understanding. Katie Hill won. So who is going to win? the far left Cenk Uygur or the troubled past Republican George Papadopoulos. Man, I can't tell you what. He then said, taking back California, making California great again. They say, unlike others who were implicated in the Mueller investigation, Papadopoulos was never hired to work in the Trump administration, and the president distanced himself from him. Trump did, however, tweet at Papadopoulos this summer to promote his book, Deep State Target, which is subtitled, How I Got Caught in the Crosshairs of the Plot to Bring Down President Trump. Good luck with the book, George. You should do well, Trump tweeted. So we know all the details about this. In the end, you get the point. It's going to be progressive. Cenk Uygur said in 2016 he was going to attack the Democrats at their core. And it now appears he's going to be running as a Democrat up against a Republican. I'm wondering who's going to win. But I'll tell you what, of all of the congressional campaign battles, this is huge for a few reasons. It's going to be televised. Everyone's going to want to know about it because you've got Katie Hill's resignation, and now you've got Papadopoulos versus Young Turks founder. So I'll be curious in the end, like I mentioned, what Cenk is going to do with the Young Turks. Could this mean the end of Cenk Uygur's tenure at his own organization? And more importantly, is he going to be able to win with a name like the Young Turks, which is a direct reference to a certain incident that happened in last century, having to do with a lot of people losing their lives, if you know what I'm talking about. That name is very, very controversial, and a lot of people have demanded that he change it, and he refuses to, which is creepy, in my opinion, especially for someone who claims to be a progressive. The way I see it, if you're going to be a progressive, then and you recognize that names and culture changes and some things are offensive, I can't believe he's sticking to that name. But you know what? His business is more important to him than actually caring about progressive values, huh? I'll leave it there. Stick around. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. YouTube.com/TimCast. It is a different channel. Go check it out, and I will see you all there.